Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you my favorite brushes. So before I start, I would just like to inform you that some of these brushes are gifted and sent to me, but this video is not sponsored whatsoever, and these are my honest opinion. I will list all the brushes, like the names, the price, and a link in the description box. So if you want to pick up any of these brushes, you have the links down below. You're welcome. I'm also going to talk about my favorite brands for brushes in the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with my face brushes. This is really a good mix of, it's mostly Sigma, Spectrum. I have some Real Techniques, I have some Morphe, and some like fake brushes that I bought on eBay. So for foundation, if I do use a brush, I usually use like Kabuki brushes. So these two from Sigma are really good. You have the E30 HD Kabuki brush, which has like an angle if you like that. I have been really into the F80 AIR lately, and this one is more of a duo fiber brush. So I feel like this leaves... it doesn't get like streaky that easily. I don't know. I really like this one. I feel like this is the brush that gives the best application for medium to full coverage foundations. Yes. And for more light coverage foundations, BB creams, things like that, I really love this one. This is a PROFUSION foundation brush, aka this is really cheap. I think I got it in a set with like 7 or 10 brushes for 100 kroner, $10. So it's good. So as you can see, this is more flimsy, it's not as stiff, so it's really nice if you have lighter products, lighter cream products. So moving on to concealer brushes, I really just have these two that I like. So this is the Sigma F70 concealer brush, and I usually use this for more precision work, like around the eyes, around the lips, because it's actually very like defined and sharp. And if I'm going to use a brush for my concealer everywhere else in the face, I am using the Spectrum B03 brush. This is so good, and all of the Spectrum brushes are really soft. For cream bronzers, cream contour, etc., I'm always grabbing this brush. This is Spectrum C02 brush, and what I like about this is that it's kind of short hair, so it's stiffer. It's a lot of hairs in here, so it's really good to just get that jawline. Yeah, get this part everywhere. It's really nice, and I really like that it's not round, that it's like a rectangle so you can get under your lip, the sides of your nose, without having a too large brush. So this one is very good. And now we're on to powder products, and I'm going to start with the brush that I like to use for setting powder. And I like to use one of these guys. This is really small. I can show a comparison to the foundation brush. So it's not very big. And it's also really fluffy. And this is perfect to go like under your eyes, the sides of your nose. And I usually just use this for my whole face. I really like that it's fluffy. I feel like if you use a more fluffy brush, then you won't get like patches that are more matte than others. So I really like this one. This is from KIKO, I believe, but most brands have a similar brush like this. This is just the one that I grabbed, and it also looks like a unicorn. So for bronzer and contour, I have 4 different brushes. So if I'm just going to bronze up my skin, I really like to use a bigger brush, and this is the Spectrum A01 brush. I really like this. It's pretty big and fluffy, so this one is good for like every day. And if I want a more defined bronzer, I'm going to use this one. This is the Sigma Duo Fibre powder blush brush. I don't use it for blush, no. But it's really nice for a lighter application and more precise application of your bronzer. You see here that you have the duo fibers, so I feel like this will define the product more and also blend it more while you're applying it. So this one is especially good if you have a more pigmented bronzer, because it won't fuck up your face. It won't. No. And I also like the size of it, so you can use it all over the face and it's not like this huge brush that will cover everything. So for contour, I actually have these fake KIKO brushes, and these are really good. I had this for 2 years now and I haven't had any problems with them whatsoever. I really like to use this to contour my cheeks and around my face, and then I have the smaller one. You can also use a large blending brush for your eyes, but this one is really nice to go under my lip, the sides of my nose, etc, etc. So yeah, these are really nice for contouring. I feel like I go so fast, but I have so many brushes and I don't want this video to be like an hour long. I'm sure that I'm going to miss so many points about these brushes. If I miss anything, I'm going to write it in the description box, and you can also leave a question in the comment section. So for blush, I actually like to use a duo fiber brush, and this is the Sigma F50, and this is, it's not really big, but it's kind of meant for your foundation application. But I really love to use this because it covers my cheeks, like the area that I want blush, and it's really soft and diffuses the product more than than if you go in with a brush like this. I don't like that. I want more of a delicate touch, you know. And then we have the highlighting brushes. So if you like more of a regular brush for your highlight, this one is really good. It's the Fenty Beauty 120 highlighting brush, and this really just hugs your cheeks. It's so nice and it's really good to use on your cheeks. Oh yeah, it's really good for all over the face. It's a little too big for the nose, I think, and it can like leave a stripe of highlighter on your face if you apply too much. But I really like this for lighter makeup days, when I have a more luminous, healthy thing going on, and not when I'm really matte. But this one is really good if you want a more, yeah, if you want a brush that hugs your face. And if you like fan brushes, which I'm a fan of, these ones from Morphe are really good. I use the G23 brush for bigger parts like my cheeks, my chin, my forehead, etc. And then I have the M558 for smaller sections like my cupid's bow and my nose. I'm shaking. But yeah, you can see the difference in both the thickness and this, yeah, really the size. So this one is a lot fluffier and this one is more stiff, but they are really great to use together. I don't really like using this one on my nose because I feel like I cover my whole nose with highlighter, but this one is really good for that. So this was all my face brushes, and now we're going to move on to the eyes. So these are all my go-to blending brushes. These are really good and are the brushes that I grab for whenever I do my makeup. So we have 3 spectrum brushes. We have the B06. Oh, we have 2 B06. So these are the same, only different colors. And then we have a A08, which is my biggest blending brush that I love to use when I do only bronzer for my eyeshadow. These are so good, so soft. They do not leave your eye like sore from blending. They are amazing. Amazing. And then I have 2 blending brushes from Sigma. These are both E35s, only different color again. And these are really good. It's the perfect size to like get in the crease. I love these. Very nice, but not as soft as the spectrum brushes. And then We have MORPHE. These also are really good. These two are the the R34 brushes, and these are my favorites from MORPHE. Those are really similar to the Sigma one, only cheaper. So these are practically dupes for each other. And then you have the R38. This one is more stiffer, and if you use this in your crease and doing a lot of blending, your eye will be sore. Yeah. I don't like this as much as the others, but it's really nice if you have like a really easy look and you just need to swipe on one color, then it's nice, then you don't get sore. And I also have, this is also a Sigma brush, but this is a smaller brush than the ones I've showed you now. You can see the difference here. So this one is more tapered and smaller and are great if you want a more detailed crease. And this is the Sigma E45. This one is so good, and it's also really nice if you want to just smoke out your lower lash line. Since it's so small, it won't get color all the way down here. Love it. Then I'm going to show you the brushes that I like for my lids. And this is a really traditional eye shader brush. This is the E55 from Sigma. This is really nice to just pack on the color on the lid. This is the one I use the most. I also use the Spectrum BO4 brush if I want just a kiss of shimmer. I dip it into the shimmer and apply it, and it's not like intense, it just la 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 la. It's just a kiss of color. Great explanatory skills, oh my god. But yeah, this is really nice if you just want a tiny bit of color, or just, yeah, just a wash and nothing too intense. Yeah. For more detailed work, I use these brushes. So you have two pencil brushes. This one is from Sigma and is the E30. This one is from Spectrum and is the A12. So these I really love to use both under my eyes, in the inner corner, if I do some, yeah, more detailed stuff, since they're smaller. And then I have the Spectrum A16 brush, which is also really good for detail. And I also like to use this if I cut my crease, since it's so small and just more rounded. I feel like I get a better shape. And my liner brushes, here I also have Sigma and Spectrum. So the two Spectrum brushes are a little bit bigger than the Sigma brush. The angled one is the Spectrum A17, and the not angled one is the A15. So these are really nice to just go over your lash line, but I don't think that these are as fine as I want them to be to do a wing. So for my wings, I really love to use this one. It's so tiny it won't focus. There we go. Okay, here it is. And this is the Winged Liner E06 brush from Sigma. And this is, it's so small. It's so cute, but Jesus Christ, it's so small. But it's really nice to either use for detail work or liner. But yeah, it's really tiny and really angled, so yeah, it gets the job done. And these are all my favorite brushes. It's a lot. I'm surprised actually myself. And now I'm going to talk about my favorite brands. You're probably not shocked that my favorite brands are Spectrum and Sigma, and that is because the quality of those brushes are amazing. So I have about the same amount of both brands, and I really love them both. The pros with the Sigma brushes is that it has a 2-year warranty. If your brush gets ruined because of the glue, or yeah, it doesn't hold up. You get a new one if it's under 2 years since you bought it, and that's amazing. As I said, I haven't had any problems with my Sigma brushes yet. I haven't had them for 2 years, but I've had them for almost 2 years, I think. These Sigma brushes are more expensive than the other brands I got here, so it's more expensive, but you have the 2-year warranty. I'm actually also an affiliate with Sigma, so if you want, you can use my code for 10% off. It's just MALINBEAUTY. I'll leave it down below. With the Spectrum brushes, you don't have a warranty like that I've seen, but these are like the same price as MORPHE brushes, so these are actually really affordable, and I think they are much better than MORPHE brushes, because I've had some problems with the MORPHE brushes, mostly shedding. These haven't shed anything, and as I said, they're so soft, and they're just as soft now as when I got them, and I think that's amazing because I've had these for a long time and I always use them. And yeah, I have also these brushes from MORPHE that I like. I have a lot more brushes from MORPHE, and I've had a lot more brushes from MORPHE, but yeah, these are my favorites, and I think these are the brushes that I bought like separately for my birthday. One year I actually got like a big set of MORPHE brushes from my mom. Thank you. But I felt like the quality of those brushes were so much worse than the ones I bought separately, and I think that's so weird, but yeah. Because when I washed them and dried them and shit, hairs would come out, and when I used them I could just feel like brush hairs on my face, and not about that life, you know. So I would say if you want like cheaper brushes that have good quality, go for Spectrum, or buy MORPHE brushes that are separately or like in a special collection, I guess. So yeah, these are all my favorite brushes that I can't live without. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and everything. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!